twists and turns in different directions, and he's such a terrific actor. I mean, it made sense to kind of keep that bad guy around. For 15 years, Criminal Minds told us their stars left for creative reasons and new opportunities. But that wasn't the truth. In 2016, security cameras caught a shocking fight between the lead actor and a producer. One star admitted the show destroyed his soul and made him walk off set. Another was fired after a CBS executive said something so sexist it sparked outrage. The real stories involve violence, cover-ups, and secrets the network tried to bury. What really happened behind the scenes will change how you see the show forever. Back in 2004, a man named Jeff Davis came up with an idea for a new crime show. He called it Criminal Minds. It wasn't like the usual action shows. This one was about the real FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit based in Quantico, Virginia. Davis had done serious research. He read real FBI files and even talked to retired agents who had helped catch famous serial killers like Ted Bundy. But when he showed the idea to CBS, they turned it down. They said it was too smart, too psychological. They didn't think everyday viewers would like it. They wanted more car chases and less thinking. Jeff Davis didn't give up. He changed a few things, added some action, and kept fighting for it. Finally, in 2005, CBS gave it the green light. That same year, on September 22nd, the first episode aired. It pulled in 16.3 million viewers. And just like that, the show that almost didn't exist became a massive hit. Jeff Davis had always wanted the show to focus on the minds of criminals, not just their crimes. He wanted to show how FBI profilers really worked, how they studied small clues and built full profiles of unknown killers. In one early script, they even used a real case about a road sniper. Davis showed how profilers figured out the killer's race and habits just from the way he drove and picked targets. He didn't want to glorify violence. He wanted to show the emotional side of these agents. Some of them had breakdowns. In fact, one of the show's main characters, Jason Gideon, was based on stories about agents who couldn't handle the pressure. That realism shocked test audiences. Some of the stories, like the 2007 episode Revelations, were so intense they had to be softened before airing. CBS finally gave the show a chance in 2005, but only after seeing how well Law & Order SVU was doing. That show had 15 million viewers every week by 2004. Even then, CBS demanded more action. They wanted it to compete with CSI, which had 26 million viewers. So the team added more chase scenes, shootouts, and drama. It worked. The premiere on September 22, 2005 had 19.3 million viewers, but the budget got cut. Originally, they planned to shoot in Quantico, Virginia, but it cost too much. They had to move everything to Vancouver, Canada. Only a few shots showed real FBI buildings. That change saved $3 million, but made the show feel less authentic. Still, they pulled it off, and the show aired on time. At first, the show was going to be called Quantico, but just weeks before the premiere, CBS changed the name to Criminal Minds. They worried people would confuse it with other FBI shows. That change alone cost $500,000 since they had to redo all the ads and promos. Jeff Davis wanted actor Mandy Patinkin to play Jason Gideon. He had seen him in reruns of Chicago Hope and believed Mandy's serious acting style would be perfect. CBS wasn't so sure. Mandy had a reputation for walking off shows. He left Chicago Hope after 6 seasons and quit Dead Like Me after just 1. But Davis pushed hard, and Mandy joined. Sadly, Mandy left Criminal Minds too, after only 2 seasons. In 2012, he said the show's violent stories hurt his soul. That's why his character was killed off screen in season 10. Casting Aaron Hotchner wasn't easy either. CBS wanted a big name, but many actors turned it down. Matthew Fox said no. So did John Corbett and Jason Patrick. They thought the show was too dark. Finally, Thomas Gibson got the role in July 2005. He was fresh off Dharma and Greg and brought the right level of seriousness. He played Hotchner for 256 episodes, but in 2016, things ended badly. On August 11th, Gibson got into a fight with a producer. During an argument about the script, he kicked the producer. CBS fired him. His character disappeared into witness protection. Fans were upset. Over 10,000 signed a petition asking CBS to bring him back. They didn't. Shemar Moore almost didn't get the role of Derek Morgan either. CBS thought he looked too good. They didn't believe audiences would see him as a tough FBI agent. But Moore wanted the part badly. He even auditioned directly in front of CBS's president, Les Moonves. Moore stayed on the show for 252 episodes. He left in March 2016, just weeks before Thomas Gibson was fired. Some fans believed there had been tension between the two actors, especially after rumors of a physical fight back in 2010, which both denied. Moore later moved on to star in SWAT, but returned for a few guest spots. A.J. Cook auditioned in May 2005 and beat out over 200 actresses for the role of J.J. CBS still tried to glam her up. They wanted high heels and makeup, but Cook pushed back. She said it didn't fit the role. She won that fight and appeared in the pilot. In 2010, she was suddenly fired. told it was for creative reasons, but fans weren't having it. Over 50,000 people signed a petition. CBS brought her back in 2011. She stayed on the show until the very end in 2020, appearing in 302 episodes. She also returned for the 2022 reboot. Matthew Gray Gubler was 25 when he auditioned in 2005. The role was meant for someone 10 years older, but he was so unique and charming that they changed the character. Spencer Reid became a 24-year-old genius with 3 PhDs. He finished high school at 12 and joined the FBI at 22. Gubler played Reid in all 324 episodes until 2020, but he even directed 9 episodes, including the strange and spooky Mr. Scratch in 2015. Fans loved him. They still hope he'll come back in future seasons. When Criminal Minds first aired in 2005, critics weren't sure it would last, but the pilot shocked everyone. It beat Lost in its time slot and scored high ratings in the 18 to 49 age group. The focus on the bomber's profile in that first episode hooked viewers. By the end of that night, people online were already talking about Mandy Patinkin's performance. That buzz pushed CBS's Wednesday night lineup higher by 25%. Real FBI agents even reported a 15% jump in new applicants after the show aired. Season 1 was a hit. It averaged 13.8 million viewers. It became the most watched news show on TV. It even beat CSI Miami in some age groups, especially women aged 25 to 54. The finale in May 2006 had over 14 million viewers. Each episode cost about $2.5 million to make, but the show earned over $150 million in ads. In Europe, they sold the rights for $500,000 per episode. The show was so intense, people complained it gave them nightmares. But that didn't stop it from winning awards and getting a video game by 2008. In just 3 years, the show was airing in over 180 countries. It became a huge hit in places like Germany and the UK. In 2008, A&E paid $650,000 per episode to air reruns. By 2010, CBS was making $100 million a year from overseas deals. The show was even remade in South Korea in 2017. And real tourism in Quantico jumped 20% because fans wanted to visit the FBI Academy. The show also sparked a merchandise boom. By season 3, sales passed $100 million. There were Bo t-shirts, throw pillows, hoodies, even handmade fan items on Etsy. In 2007 alone, Spencer Reid hoodies brought in $20 million. FBI applications rose by 25% from 2005 to 2008, but it wasn't all good. Real profilers said the show made people believe profiling worked 80% of the time, when the real number was closer to 60%. Still, the show inspired yearly fan events with over 50,000 people attending by 2012. Criminal Minds led to spin-offs like Suspect Behavior in 2011 and Beyond Borders from 2016 to 2017. These didn't last long, but they showed how big the original series had become. It influenced other shows like Mindhunter and Prodigal Son, which also focused on criminal psychology. By 2020, the show had aired 324 episodes. After it ended on February 19, 2020, it was watched for 5.3 billion minutes on Netflix in 2021. It came back in 2022 with a new name, Evolution, and it's been renewed through 2025. It even won People's Choice Awards in 2017 and became the subject of college studies. Some professors now use it to talk about how crime shows change how people see the real world. In July 2007, something happened on the set of Criminal Minds that left everyone in shock. Just as they were about to start filming season 3, Mandy Patinkin didn't show up. No warning, no explanation. He skipped the script read through on July 11th. By the time the crew realized he wasn't coming back, the whole production was already in trouble. His character, Jason Gideon, was at the heart of the show. The writers had to rewrite everything in a rush. The producers were scrambling. Ed Bernero, one of the main producers, admitted online that Mandy hadn't given them any heads up. It reminded people of the time he walked away from Chicago Hope in 1995. Back then, he said it was for family, but this time it was something darker. By 2012, the truth finally came out in an interview. Mandy called joining Criminal Minds the biggest mistake of his life. He said the show's violence, especially against women, really damaged him emotionally. He thought the series would focus more on the psychology behind the crimes, not show brutal scenes every week. The more he acted in those episodes, the more he felt like it was affecting his soul. He said he stopped feeling like himself, even though he was earning around $100,000 per episode. It wasn't worth it. He didn't feel proud of any of it. At a live talk, he said the role forced him to think like twisted people. Week after week, it wore him down. He later took a role in Homeland, where the tone was different because he promised himself he'd never take on something so dark again. Things got even worse in early 2007 when they were filming an episode that involved child abuse. Mandy couldn't take it anymore. He walked off the set in protest and refused to finish his scenes. The production had to stop for hours. That moment was the breaking point. The episode reminded him too much of how the show kept crossing emotional lines. His character Gideon was already written to carry heavy trauma from past cases like the No Way Out storyline. After the walkout, rumors started spreading that Mandy was being difficult. He later sent letters to the cast apologizing for how he handled it, but the damage was already done. He explained later that the show didn't just mess with his work, it messed with his personality. He said every week it destroyed a piece of who he was. The network didn't forget what happened. When Mandy quit in 2007, CBS executives were furious. Years passed, but they waited. In 2014, 7 years after he left, they decided to kill off his character permanently. On October 1, 2014, in the season 10 premiere, the team found Gideon's body in a cabin. He had been murdered off-screen. It was the network's way of closing the door for good. Erica Messer, the showrunner, said they wanted to honor his legacy, but insiders knew it was also about control. They didn't want Mandy returning, not even for a cameo. When he spoke out again in 2012, criticizing the violence of the show, it only made the network more determined. They chose to end Gideon's story in a way that made sure it couldn't be undone. The fallout from Mandy's exit didn't just hurt feelings, it hurt money. After he left in July 2007, CBS reportedly lost over $5 million in ad revenue. Ratings for the new season dropped by 15%. The premiere on September 26, 2007, had fewer viewers. Advertisers started pulling out. Behind the scenes, the budget took a $2 million hit from all the rewrites and reshoots. Fans flooded forums with angry messages. Petitions to bring him back spread across the internet. It took time for the show to recover. Even after Joe Mantegna joined as David Rossi, it reminded everyone how one actor's choice could shake an entire show that cost over $100 million per season. But Criminal Minds wasn't done facing behind-the-scenes chaos. In May 2010, right before filming for Season 6, CBS fired two main actresses, A.J. Cook and Paget Brewster. They blamed budget cuts, but fans weren't buying it. The show was still pulling 14 million viewers per episode. Cook had been with the series since it began in 2005, and Brewster since Season 2. Strangely, they brought in Rachel Nichols to replace them and paid her double. That made people question the real reason. Some started saying the network just wanted to cut women from the cast. Then came the shocking part. In a 2015 interview, Brewster said a CBS executive had told the producer directly, "I want new women." It wasn't about money at all. It was about getting rid of familiar female faces. By 2019, the producer himself confirmed this story. He said they were ordered to fire specific people without any clear reason. It was plain sexism. Fans were outraged. Cook had already appeared in over 100 episodes by that point. Brewster said she loved her role, but after that, everything changed. She felt like the network didn't value her. For Cook, it felt like heartbreak. She said in a 2010 interview that it was like being dumped by someone she trusted. She didn't even hear it from the network directly, her agent told her. She had just turned 31 and had a small child when they fired her. She only got 2 episodes in Season 6 to say goodbye. CBS tried to explain it as creative reasons, but people weren't convinced. By May 2011, she came back briefly, and after fans kept pushing, she returned full-time in Season 7. The fan reaction was massive. In just 48 hours, over 100,000 emails and letters were sent to CBS in June 2010. Petitions gained 65,000 signatures. Some blogs called it a slap in the face to female viewers. There were even t-shirts made that mocked CBS's excuse. Advertisers started to get nervous. Some said they'd stop sponsoring the show. Eventually, CBS had to bring both Cook and Brewster back. This all happened before social media was as strong as it is now, which made it even more powerful. The fans had spoken, and the network had to listen. But the most explosive moment came in 2016. Thomas Gibson, who had played Aaron Hotchner since the beginning, got into a violent fight on set. It happened on August 11th during filming of Season 12. He was directing an episode when he got into an argument with writer-producer Virgil Williams. In the middle of it, Gibson kicked him hard in the leg. There were witnesses. CBS got the report fast. Just 1 day later, they fired him. But this wasn't the first time. Back in December 2010, he shelved an assistant director during a night shoot. CBS made him attend anger management classes, but he skipped many of them. In 2013, he was arrested for reckless driving and pleaded no contest to a DUI. So when the kick happened in 2016, it wasn't just about one incident, it was the last straw. People working on the show said they'd quit if he stayed, so CBS cut ties with him immediately. Gibson later tried to say it was just a light tap and apologized, but no one believed him. His character was suddenly written off by sending him into witness protection. After 256 episodes, his run ended without warning. Lola Gladani left Criminal Minds quietly, but fans never stopped asking why. CBS said on November 1, 2006 that she left to pursue other opportunities. But that wasn't the real reason. Producer Ed Bernero later told the Los Angeles Times that it came down to something much simpler. Lola was unhappy living in Los Angeles. She was born in New York City on November 24, 1971, and she had always loved the East Coast. She had worked on NYPD Blue and The Sopranos back home, and LA never felt right. It wasn't some dramatic fight. It was just a mutual decision. She wanted to go back east. Her exit ended El Greenaway's time on the show after just 28 episodes and opened the door for a new character, Emily Prentice, played by Paget Brewster, who ended up becoming one of the most loved characters for the next 14 seasons. Many fans made up stories online. Some believed she felt isolated. Others thought she couldn't handle the dark content. But the truth never matched the rumors. There's no real proof that Lola ever felt left out on set or had a problem with the show's violent themes. Her character, Elt, handled sexual assault cases and even went through a traumatic shooting in the May 10, 2006 episode. But Lola never said that was the reason she left. In fact, after leaving, she kept choosing intense roles. She was in Ray Donovan and appeared in 7 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from 2018 to 2019. She also joined The Expanse in 2019. She didn't walk away from dark stories. She just wanted to tell them somewhere else. That simple choice to move home turned into a huge mystery because fans couldn't believe there wasn't more to it.